Welcome back to the homestead. This evening I'm out here trying to put down a couple of muscadine starts that I brought back from my old home place. Over the weekend I went down to Mississippi and visited my mom, and my dad used to maintain a muscadine orchard where he had, I believe it was 3 rows of muscadines, and the rows were probably between 50 and 80 feet long, and he would grow those for wine making and jelly making and stuff like that. So while I was down this past winter, or actually this previous spring, I took a couple of the muscadines, the leaders, and buried them down in the ground and let them come back up. And over the year, the part of the muscadine that was down in the ground has actually rooted. So I cut the shoot off of the main plant and dug it up and brought them back. I'm going to plant them now and try and get them started here in my garden. So let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's the plug of dirt that I dug out of the ground, and you can see I've got 1 and 2 liters of muscadine coming up out of it. In reality, what this is the one long shoot that came down. I just pulled it to the ground, buried about 8 inches of it, and then let it come back up out of the ground. And over the year, as it was attached to the main plant, it was able to draw nutrients from the main plant, but the portion of the leader that was underground began to put roots out. So now that it's severed from the plant, the roots are the only thing that's going to feed it. And the neat thing about a muscadine is both sides of this muscadine are able to live and produce. Even though one was growing in and the other one was coming out, now that it's severed from the main plant, both of them will turn around and grow up. That works with muscadines, but it won't work with any varieties of grapes. If you did the same thing with grapes, the leader that came down into the ground, you would have to just cut off because it would not live. But let's go ahead and get this in the ground and see if they'll take hold. Alright, so all 3 of the plants are down, and one of them looks pretty good, one of them looks pretty rough, one of them so-so. So maybe they'll grow, maybe they won't. A wild muscadine is a pretty hardy plant. Of course, the production cultivars maybe a little less hardy, but they're still a pretty hardy plant, much hardier than the grapes are. And there's a reasonable chance that these will still grow and make a good production plant. And there's not a large investment in it. It's a few minutes of time during the spring to pull a shoot down and bury it, wait on it for a year, cut it off the plant, dig it up, and plant it somewhere else. So really no financial outlay, just a little bit of time. And the garden project here is really a secondary project for me right now. As much as I'd love to be focused on it every day, it's just not going to happen because I've got this project back here that is eating up all of my time. And until that house is finished and we are moved out here, the project will always be the secondary project. But when there's time available, I get out here and do a little bit, and maybe that'll put me a little ahead when we do get moved. So for now, stay tuned, and we'll have an update on the house here in a couple of days maybe. The roof is almost finished on it, and I'll update you in a week or so about how the muscadines are doing.